Hello, dear leader. My name is Samuel Eyim, Chief Leadership Coach at the Center for Transformational Leadership in Africa, CTL Africa. And I have an important invitation for you. Why are some nations developed and thriving, while others are underdeveloped and struggling? Why are some businesses flourishing and others languishing? Why are some churches growing and others dying? These are important questions for leaders. So are you a leader? At what level are you leading? What impact are you making? What is your understanding and concept of leadership? The way you think about leadership is the way you do leadership. And as John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is the cause, all others are the effect. So, at the Center for Transformational Leadership, we've created this program to help you transform your understanding of leadership. This program is going to be based on John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. As a John C. Maxwell certified coach, I'm going to walk you through these laws, and we're going to give you exercises and activities around these laws to help install a new transforming concept of leadership for you. This will change the way you do leadership completely. So I invite you to check our website and our social media pages and to register for the Leadership Mindset and Asset program. This program is on 2 levels. The first level is understanding the laws of leadership, where we are going to walk you through the laws of leadership in 3 to 5 days. And this will give you the foundations of leadership. The second level is walking the laws of leadership. Here, we take you through a 15-week journey through the laws of leadership. Every week, you will have opportunity to study one law, apply the law throughout the week, meditate upon it, do the exercises, and regroup with other like-minded people who are learning the laws of leadership, exchange ideas, and share your lessons. So do not miss this opportunity. Register now for the Leadership Mindset and Asset program.
My name is Eliza.
My name is Elsie.
My name is Ebenezer Tufo.
This is Rosemary Robert Gacy.
Over the past 14 weeks, I have been part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey, and it has been a blessing for me. I want to share my lessons with you.
Indeed, my attitude to life has never been the same. From the very first day I joined the virtual Personal Growth and Leadership Masterclass organized by Center for Transformational Leadership CTL Africa under the tutelage of Mr. Samuel Eyim.
First, the law of intentionality. Second, the law of design. And third, the law of the rubber band, the law of expansion.
The law of intentionality, the law of awareness. Then we have the law of the mirror.
Looking at how intense these laws are and how much impact they're supposed to make to our life.
My value obviously is not the same. The program indeed satisfies my quest for knowledge. So I encourage you to be part of this journey and also become an encouragement to others.
I will recommend CTL Africa to everyone who hears about us.
It has been a blessing to me, and I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
So we thank Mr. Eyim, we thank CTL, and thank you for listening to us.
God bless you as you make a move today.
I have been blessed, and so you be blessed. Thank you.
Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Leadership Platform. My name is Samuel Ayim, and I'm excited to be with you this evening. As always, my favorite time of the week, Saturday evening at 7 p.m., when I have you around, good friends, people who are growing, people who are determined, people who are interested in their growth, people who are interested to learn around me and my colleagues on the leadership platform. It is my favorite time because I also have some of the men and women who are willing and ready to share freely of their knowledge and their expertise with all of you. So I'm excited. If you're connected, please just begin to share on your various platforms, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Share across the line and let your friends, your family, your colleagues, your bosses, your subordinates invite everybody to learn. This evening, we're going to share some very important nuggets, and we have a well-prepared, experienced person who can identify with the subjects we're going to discuss this evening. We all go through life, and as we go through life, we plan for the best, but sometimes it doesn't happen. And as the Chinese will say, prepare plan for the best, but prepare for the worst. Okay? So you plan and plan for the best, and that's what we all plan for. But we have to also prepare for failure because success and failure are two sides of the same coin. The journey to success is full of failures. There's no way you're going to be able to reach the land of success without going through failures. So your understanding of failing, how to fail and fail forward to your destination, to your success is absolutely critical. Again, our minds have been given to us by God to operate as our operating system to manage our whole life. All the four or so power tools that God has given to us, which distinguish us as human beings from other creatures of God, are all operating in our mind. The power of self-awareness, the power of imagination, the power of conscience, and the power of will, the ability to decide. All these powers that separate us from other creatures like dogs and cats and chicken is in our mind. So our understanding of our mind and our ability to handle failure, which most of the time is in our mind, is absolutely critical. That is why this evening we have the right person to come and share with us on how to can handle how successful people handle failure and overcome your mental slavery. Many of us are entrapped in the things of the past and we are not able to go forward. So I see William Darfur. Thank you, William, for being here. I see Na Latele. Latte is here. I see Kwesi JB is here. I see Dennis Ahe is here. Thank you, guys, and invite your friends as we begin the show. This evening, we have with us the right person, as I said, to come and share with us. And he's my friend, he's my former colleague, and he's also a colleague, even now as a trainer, a colleague, as a coach, as a member of the ICF coaching, Federation, International Federation of Coaches. We are also members there trying to work together at different ends to be able to improve the potential of people. I'm talking about Patrick Sasu Abladaku, who is an international coach, a bilingual trainer and facilitator, a consultant, who is very passionate about developing human capital. And in this regard, Patrick had to quit his 17 years work at a bank at a high level so that he can be fulfilled just impacting into people. And that is the person we have. He is also a counselor, he's a coach, he's a mentor, and more importantly, he trained high performance leaders in team engagement, in emotional intelligence, and in mentoring. So, as an emotional intelligence expert, he's been on this platform before and he's spoken to us about emotional intelligence and that emotion of fear and the power it has over us. He understands it better. So you have all the details of Patrick. If I want to continue with Patrick's background, it's going to take a lot of our time. But hey, Patrick doesn't need a long introduction because he's good and he's going to give us, from what he's going to give us, we will know that we have the right person. So on that note, I invite my friend, my colleague, Patrick, to mount the platform and to share with us. And we know that as we were going through, we found that he was having a bit of a challenge on his internet. So let me just check up and be sure that Patrick is connected. All right. Okay. Is Patrick here? All right. Patrick is not here yet. So let me recognize a few of the friends on the platform and then we would take it from there. I have my learned friend Abi Asafubuache. He says, I'm here. All right. So thank you so much, Abi, for joining the platform. David Juma is also here and says, hello, everyone. Good evening. And he's happy to join us again. I have Emmanuel Willendall. Well, Emmanuel, we miss you for some time now. Welcome back to the leadership platform. We are happy, very happy to have you on the platform. All right. So whilst Patrick is preparing to join us, I just want you at this point, if you are joining us, to put in the chat in the last 24 hours, what are the emotions that you have experienced? What emotions have you experienced in the last 24 hours? Just share with us the different types of emotions that has gone through your mind. Let's see. All right. And as you put into that, we'll come back to it because I see Patrick is here with us. So Patrick, you are very welcome to the leadership platform. And we are praying that your internet would give you the freedom to be able to share with us the amazing lessons you've prepared for us. So put in the chat, what are some of the emotions we've gone through? We'll come back to that because we're going to discuss the emotion of fear, and it will be good to know what emotions are going through your head. Patrick, you're very welcome to the leadership platform. I know you are going to share a bit of your story with us, and we will up. It seems Patrick just is having a challenge. All right. So share your emotions, and I will share to the world. Today, I feel some kind of joy. All right. So Wulo feels joy this evening in the day. All right. So let's see who else is sharing their emotions. Let us know what's going on. Unfortunately, we're having challenges with Patrick's network, but he will join us. Her ladyship, Cynthia Martinson, is here with us. Despite all her heavy duty work at the High Court, she finds the time every Saturday to join us. All right. So Patrick will join us, but as he's getting ready to join us, let me try to share a few thoughts on what we're going to discuss this evening. And as we all, as human beings, as I said, we go through life, and sometimes the things we plan really don't happen. You know, when I was growing up, in my village, and I was the champion of the village. I mean, every exams time, I was the top of the class. And from primary 1 to primary 2, it was difficult for anybody to beat me in the class. So I was the village champion. And then after that, I had to go to town and go and try my luck into what they call the international school. And as I moved from the village and I came to town and I went to try my hands on the international school, I did the exams to enter into the international school, the entrance exams, and the results came. I got like 0. The village champion failed miserably. Now, what do I do from there? Now, those are some of the challenges. This afternoon, I was talking to a very good friend who is trying her best to keep her marriage, but somehow it didn't work out. And now she's having all sort of ideas in her head. Now, these are the sort of questions that were going through our minds and many, many more. That's why we invited Patrick. So now that we have Patrick, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Patrick? It looks like Patrick is frozen again. All right. It's rather unfortunate. Patrick cannot hear me. Patrick, if you can hear me, you're frozen. Richmond, reach out to him and let's see what we can do to help him. All right? Okay, but I would go on with what I'm trying to share with you. So I failed miserably. As a young man, my mother was a pillar of our house. And it's really, really difficult when, the woman who was the pillar of our house, just before writing my exams for O levels, I just got the news. One day, my mother was dead. Now, that was a big blow to me. A really, really big blow. I was barely 18 years. I had all my brothers and my siblings behind us. These are some of the challenges that we face in our lives. And sometimes when these things happen, when we fail in our quest, we write our exams and we fail. We attempt to get a job and we fail. You are rising on the corporate ladder and things don't go well. Then we begin to ask ourselves, why didn't this go the way I wanted? Why did life treat me this way? We all have purposes that God has set for us. But when things don't go well, how do we handle those things? And many, many people fail, and I've seen a lot of people who fail even in their first relationships, and they are not able to go ahead because one boy or one woman didn't go on life as he has planned. They are not able to continue, and every man, every woman is not really able to satisfy them. So, what do you do when you have these situations? Now, this is what we are discussing this evening. And in the previous, I've shared with you some of the strength, some of the power that we have in failing. As I've said, if you are treading on a path to success and you fail, what can you do about it? The options that come to you is to give up. Okay? But as Patrick will tell you, there is a beauty in failure that sometimes you don't see. When you take your time and analyze your failed journeys, the things that didn't go well, the doors that were closed, if you took your time, and I want you to at this point imagine yourself with the experiences that you have had and how they didn't go well. And you will probably find there are lots of gold nuggets in those failures. And there I'm quoting Patrick. It says there are gold nuggets in our failures, but sometimes we don't allow ourselves to see those nuggets. And if you see those gold nuggets in your failure, you would have a completely different attitude about failure, and you will not allow failure to trap you and not go ahead. And sometimes failure can help us to change directions from where we didn't think or where we didn't want to go, or where we thought was good and we thought this is the only way to go. But God has a different purpose for us, and God has a different purpose for every one of us. So failure has a power to take us away from our comfort zones. All right. Sometimes we are very comfortable with what we are doing, and God brings failure our way so that it can redirect us. All right. It can redirect us. So let us um, check those ideas as Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Miss.
All right. I'm sorry you've had a bit of a challenge, but that's fine because we are seeing that this is a proper lesson in failure when you want to get onto the leadership platform and share and things don't go well. So tell me, after these minutes of trying, what's going on in your mind? What emotions? How are you feeling, Patrick?
Hello, Mr. Im. I think I'm okay now. I'm fine.
Okay.
That is a lot of. I need to apply the emotional intelligence myself. I teach. Be calm. Yeah. The
That's
emotional.
why I'm
Be
asking,
under
how are you
control.
feeling? Are you
Yeah.
nervous? You are agitated, anxious? Why? What's going on through your mind now?
Well, uh, just to be keep to be positive and
Uh-huh.
the situation under control. Yeah. Because you panic, it will not change anything. Just to
Wonderful.
focus on what is important. Yes. And go to
All
do
right.
the presentation. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for keeping the focus. So I was trying to stand in for you, but now that you are here, I will leave you to share what you have, then I'll continue my story after that. Thank you very much. And I leave the platform to you. And participants, we are sorry for the connection, but Patrick, over to you.
Hello, good evening. I'm sorry, I was having some challenge with my network, but that is fine. Mr. Ayim, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about how society people are able to um, manage fear, any type of anxiety or worries in order to succeed in life. Okay, first of all, I don't know, could you hear me, please? If you can hear me, you can just give me a thumbs up, please. I don't know if you can hear me well.
Patrick, we can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So I was saying, okay. Okay. First of all, why are we talking about the challenge, how to handle a failure or the fear of failure? This topic was an article I wrote on how to be free from the fear of failure in BFT. And I was thinking how this can benefit people who are into leadership position or whatever they are, who are struggling with fear, the fear to take the right decision. I will share my life story, talk about how to handle the fear of failure. We talk about good advice, we call it the destiny helpers. We talk about so how to identify your life purpose. What are you here for? And we'll talk about some few keys which will help us to overcome the fear of failure, which is the mental slavery. First of all, I want to say, let's keep this word. There is a hope for your future. We will see why am I starting everything with that word. There is a hope for your future. To be able to handle failure, you must stand on something. And that thing can make a difference, not only in the short term, but in the long term in your life. There is hope for your future. I will say I'm from Togo, I'm not a Ghanaian, and I have this is not okay. As I was growing up, I had a lot of many challenges in my life, especially in school, academically. I couldn't do well in school, and my parents were not too proud of me. And it was so bad that I have a younger sister who is after me. She went to do she was a doctorate in pharmacy. She came back. I was still in school, battling with failure. And I remember very well. I think it was 31st December. I have a friend who came from Ghana. I was living in Togo. He came from Ghana. He gave me a small card. On the card was written, "There is a hope for your future." And that word, I just decided to stand upon that word. So I wrote that word everywhere. I asked myself, who is talking about my future? Is God. What should I do with this card the person has given me? I will focus on this word. I will memorize it. So in my room, I wrote everywhere I could see in the room behind the door, there is hope for my future. And every day I was saying it. And everything around me was showing that this boy was failing. But within me, I knew that there is hope for my future. So with that, there was a certain courage and boldness about the future, even though the present circumstances were showing that this boy were failing. And I took time to count how many times did I fail in school. It was 7 years, just repeating classes after classes. Finally, when I finished, I decided to do my HND in accounting. The HND is done in 2 years. I have done it in 4 years. And my father was not really proud of me. I remember very well, my father was not well as I went to visit him at the hospital. This is the first time I see my father weeping. And my mother asked him, "Why are you weeping?" He said, "I'm afraid that this boy will fail in life." He was right, because there was nothing about my life he can be proud of. But guess what? I kept that word. That is hope for my future. Finally, when I finished my HND, I decided to do my attachment with EcoBank Togo. As I was doing the attachment, just helping client, I realized that I used to love something which is taking care of client, selling, and good customer service. I was doing this attachment, and one day a certain lady came to send money to Ghana. It was EcoBank branch, but I was doing the attachment in a small department of Western Union. And the lady told me that she wanted to send money to Ghana to help her to fill the form. And I was helping her to fill the form. When I finished, she told me she's going to her car to bring the money remaining, because she needed to top up to send the money to Ghana. And here, this lady brought her badge. Her badge was written ETI auditor. She was coming for the mystery shopping. And she spoke to the branch manager. "I love this gentleman's attitude. He has an excellent attitude towards how to serve clients. That is a hope for my future." And the lady wrote in her report, sent it to ETI, the headquarters of EcoBank, "I recommend you to take this gentleman." The boy who was failing in school, the boy who, when we talk about academic, he could not see his way forward. Around that time, EcoBank Togo, either your parents are well placed politically, you can get a job there, or you are so bright academically, you are very good in school. These are two criteria you can get job at EcoBank. Upon the recommendation of this woman, I was called. I went through the interview. I entered EcoBank Togo. I was sincerely, I was not, I was like somebody who ashamed for the family. And things were not going well. And when I started with that bank, well, suddenly the shame was taken away. Everybody was proud of me. Patrick is working with EcoBank Togo. It's not now, around that time when you're working with EcoBank Togo. I mean, it was so, everybody, your parents are proud of you. To cut the long story short, after 3 years with EcoBank Togo, I decided to further my education. We are talking about how successful leaders overcome the fear of failure and mental slavery. So I want to talk to my father. I want to further my education in Togo, in Ghana. But the question he asked me, the course you are going to do in Ghana, in which language you are going to do it? I say in English. He asked me, but apart from that, you will you be going to work? I say yes. And I thank God for my father's life. My father was a very straight person. He asks you factual questions. He asked me, it took you 7 years to finish your GSS HND, and now you pretend to go to an English country. You are a French-speaking person to working with EcoBank Ghana at the same time schooling. That is hope for my future. So I left. I needed his blessing. I left Togo. I came to Ghana. I was schooling at the same time working. It was challenging because the fear of failure of the past was still in my mind. What if it doesn't work? What if you fail? I registered at Central University and gave myself, asked God to help me and focus on my schooling. But before moving to Togo, I want to talk about in our pursuit as leaders to overcome the fear of failure and mental stability. We need people, we call it destiny helpers and mentors. Mentors are important because they will help you to see what you can't see in yourself. I met many people who have really helped me. There was the woman who recommended me to EcoBank Ghana, recommended to ETI, where I got interview. Her name is Madam Patricia Sapo, a wonderful woman. For me, these are the people I call destiny helpers or mentors in your journey to overcome the fear of failure and be free for the mental slavery. Another person was this man, Mr. Tony Zongola. This man helped me a lot because he just took interest in me. He was seeing something I can't see. For his recommendation, I was able to move to EcoBank Ghana. And when I joined EcoBank, I joined EcoBank Ghana, and I moved to Central University. It was challenging because I'm a French-speaking person. Imagine a French-speaking person being in the university where you are with English-speaking people. But I don't just want to put the thing into any context. I remember very well one day I came home and I knelt down. The only thing I could do is to cry. I wept. I said, God, help me. I'm just telling you literally what I did. I just knelt down. I said, God, I need your help. And I heard the voice, fear not, I will help you. I just stood upon that word and I gave myself to study group, being with people. The first time it was difficult. The first semester was difficult. I joined a level 200. It was difficult. But I can tell you, something just happened. Before the exam, I would just sense that study this. At the beginning, I wasn't taking it seriously. Study this. And I would say, Didi, I go to the exam hall. The exact papers, past question. To cut the long story short, I finished Central University, second class upper. That is hope for my future. After finishing my degree, there was I'm talking about destiny helpers. Around that time, the Dansaki, Mr. Dansaki was a man who really challenged me. This man helped me because he is a no. He doesn't accept any no. When I finished my degree, I went to see him. Before to having my degree, I remember very well when I got admission, what happened? I went to the university. They told me that, listen, the admission we gave to you was for national, the Ghanaian. You are a foreigner, and this was a mistake on your admission letter, you have to pay double as foreign student. And I was so discouraged. And I went to see Mr. Dansaki around that time. I told him that, Mr. Dansaki, I'm having some challenge. I'm talking about the importance of destiny helpers and mentors. This man told me, I believe you can finish your degree. Just to hear him telling me that I can finish my degree gave me some courage. So when I finished my degree, I went to see him. I finished my degree. He asked me, what's the next step? I said, I'm going to further my degree to do my MBA in finance. He said, I know you can do it. The importance of destiny helpers and mentors in overcoming the fear of failure and mental slavery. And the man who was really in French country, who didn't know that he can go back to university, finish his degree with second class upper, went to finish his MBA in finance. I came back to Mr. Dansaki. I said, I finished my degree, my MBA. He said, what next? I went on to do another MBA in entrepreneurship. And I can tell you that for 7 years, when I came to Ghana, this following 7 years, all I was doing is just to go to school. You see, I can tell you that the courage, there was a certain courage which came to my heart about when I realized that I am not a failure. As somebody said, failure is not a person, failure is an event. You can't be a failure, but you can fail in life. But what is important is to learn what are the lessons you have learned through that failure. When I was doing my degree, I read an article written by his name is Captain Sam Adai. In graphic, the title of the article was "An Emerging Leadership." That article was talking about emotional intelligence. I was asking myself, what is my life? What is my purpose in this life? When I read the article, I just sensed that I have found what I'm born to do. We talk about my life experience. We talk about the importance of mentors and destiny helpers in how successful leaders overcome the fear of failure and mental stability. Now let's talk about your life purpose. What are you here for? What are you born to do? Once you discover your life purpose, it changes your way of seeing life. So when I read that the article written by Captain Sam Adai about emotional intelligence, I'm talking about is in 2010. My project topic at the university was the importance of emotional intelligence in entrepreneurs in Africa. Why? Because I realized that to be a successful person, you need to have an intellectual quotient and an emotional quotient. We have been taught, as we are going to school, they taught us how important it is to be somebody clever, but we have not been taught how important it is to be an emotionally intelligent person. When I finished my degree, I knew what I needed to do. What is my life purpose? Is to train leaders in Africa how to be emotionally intelligent. So finishing my degree, went out to finish my MBA. The time has come to. I was working around that time with EcoBank Ghana, but I realized that at a certain point, after 10 years, there was some dissatisfaction in my heart. I couldn't explain it. And I knew that the time has come to leave EcoBank Ghana. But before that, I want to tell you what are the lessons I have learned about the failure. I have learned that failure help you to develop the resilience and perseverance. You don't take no for answer. You develop empathy, you understand people. And I have one of my favorite phrases, say, once you discover the lesson in your failure, you can start selling your failure. Let me say it again. One, you see, I was training some managers in Congo, Brazil. The woman was complaining. I told her that there is beauty in her failure. He said, how? Because you see, you can be failing, but when you see you see in that failure, there is opportunity in every challenging, any failure situation. Once you discover that and you learn from it, you become a well of resources for people. I will say you have become a blessing. I have learned also to celebrate God for my years of failure. For those who are about some hormones, there's a woman I follow, her name is Dr. Liv. He said, anytime you thank God for something which is not good in your life, your brain releases hormones. They call it hormones of well-being, oxytocin, serotonin. These hormones, they call it hormone of motivation. They encourage you, they stimulate you to see the future brighter. So another lesson, thanking God for your years of failure. It doesn't make sense, but it has such a good impact on your brain, the way you see life. I have a quote. I said, there are gold nuggets in our failure. Because right now, what I do is I package my years of failures and I sell it and people buy it. So what I'm doing now, I'm selling my failure. I do coaching on how to handle failure and they pay me. What was some years back, I'm a moment of shame. I become now a source of income. So no matter what Mrs. Sam Ayin was talking about, the woman not talking about, the woman who was finding a challenge in her marriage. Whatever challenge you are going through now, if your eyes can be open, you see that in that challenge are gold nuggets. And you can sell it, you can package it. Somebody somewhere is crying, weeping. How can I go through what you have gone through? You are the answer to the person. I say, I am selling my years of failure. Now, after I have discovered the purpose, my life purpose, what I'm born to do, I needed to take a decision, which is to leave EcoBank. I think it's one of my difficult decisions I have taken in my life. Because EcoBank Ghana was a very secure place. But I sense in my heart that the time has come to move on. And taking that decision was not easy. But you see, you can know your life purpose and never pursue it. You remain the same, you will not grow. But when you know what you are born to do and you decide to focus on that, it's just a matter of time. So I needed to leave the bank after 10 years, and I have the approval of my wife. I sought counseling from some few friends, and I left. What I decided to do, to focus on helping leaders across Africa to be emotionally intelligent. Listen, I left. I am in my 7th year. It is one of the best decisions I have taken. The fear of failure, because the question is, you are working somewhere where they pay you every month. You are working somewhere where you know when your bonus is coming, quarterly bonus, end of the year bonus, you have your car loan, you have your everything. Now you are leaving to become a consultant, starting your own company. I met a man called David Boram. He told me, if you know what you need to do with your life, but you don't do it, the end, you have just your eye to cry. And that word this man spoke really worked on me. So I decided to take the package EcoBank was offering and I left. The power of focus. Now I have left and I needed to be focused on what to do next. So I joined a company in South Africa, how to train people. This man trained me. This man equipped me. And I moved. I went to France, went to school of coaching. Came back, started my own company. Our company is called P&F Coaching and so that P like Patrick, F like Frida. I work with my wife, a wonderful woman, a great support. So we started our company, training people, equipping people, and I realized that what I was afraid of. I mean, I was saying my former job pays well, but you see, you can be so afraid that you stay in one place. Anytime I meet leaders in Africa, you train people, people say, the person knows that he has to leave where he's working or he has to make a change, but he's afraid. Failure, the fear of failure will creep you, will not allow you to grow, to become the best person God wants you to be. For me, it's very important. And we have one life. When people always, somebody was complaining, I said that my boss doesn't appraise me well. I said, you can't put your life in the hand of a human being. You cannot put your life in the hands of human being. I told a man that your destiny is in your hand. You can't be at the same place, complaining, grumbling. You are not happy, you are not growing, and you decide to be there. It is the decision you have made. Zig Ziglar says fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. So, and another author says fears are like babies. The more you nurse them, the bigger they grow. So when you decide to move or you decide to do something, the more you feed your fears, the bigger they grow. What are you going to do? You will starve your fears by doing that things you are afraid of. I moved from my country, Togo, to Ghana, and French-speaking person coming to English, learn English, be at university. That things I was afraid of. By God's grace, I was able to overcome it. Went through 7 years, degree, MBA. As you overcome, you become courageous, bold, not be afraid of that thing. Living EcoBank Ghana was challenging. As I left, I realized that, wow, there are so great opportunity outside. I have never dreamed that, I mean, you can travel, equipping people in Africa, Europe. Wonderful opportunity outside. But when I was there, it's like my whole universe is EcoBank. I'm not saying working there, I have learned a lot. But when you are afraid to take a decision, you stay there, and later you realize that you have made one of the greatest mistakes because you have allowed fear to cripple you. I would say get up and focus, face that fear. The fear of failure is just a deceit. You fail, and so what? It's not the end. You learn from your failure, and the beauty, you can sell your failure. You learn from it, you package it, somebody needs it, you sell it. I said, let me talk about 5 keys to overcome the fear of failure and mental stability. First of all, identify the source of your fear by dealing with the root cause. Why are you afraid? John Maxwell says, most people would rather change their circumstances to improve their life when instead they need to change themselves to improve their circumstances. where you are now, if you are not happy, you need a change, and you need to change yourself by faith, by doing what? Face the fear. You can't be complaining about everything about people every day when you don't want to do something about the situation. You need to change. You need to change yourself by doing what? Face the fear. Ask yourself, why are you afraid? I was afraid to leave Ecobank because when I was going to school, I was failing. And I said, what if? What if one day I meet my colleague? What would they, if it doesn't work? Well, how am I going to take care of my family? Many questions. But you need to face your fear and to deal with that and take a bold step. 5 keys. The first key I will say is the fear of God, your character. If you want to overcome fear and mental slavery, you need to be a man of character. Work on your character. The fear of God is important. Why? Because if you don't fear God, somebody say, face your fear with the fear of God. Know what you are born to do, what God has called you to do. And as soon as you stand there, you can call upon him for rescue. This is my secret. Learn to spend time in that secret place. Receive strength and boldness and go out and do exploit. Very, very important. The fear of God will distinguish you. The fear of God will give you such boldness and courage. And he brings also favor. The fear of God, work on your character. Be a man of character and integrity. Your integrity will take you to places. We speak for you. Our company, we don't take bribe. And we miss great opportunity because we want to be known as people who don't take bribe, who don't give bribe. And we want to be known in Africa that these people, they don't take bribe, they don't collect. If we want a market, if we need to give money before, we don't do that. So it helps us to diversify. We have clients in Africa and Europe. So that if you are somewhere, you are forced to give bribe, move where you are needed. So the fear of God, very, very important. Your character and integrity. And also to be someone who persevere. To deal with the fear of failure, you need to be somebody who really persevere, not to give up easily. Another thing is excellence. Excellence is your quality, the quality of being outstanding and extremely good. Being good at what you do. We just want to be known as people who are excellent in understanding how emotional intelligence work and helping grooming leaders in Africa. Excellent in what you do. To master your subject, be outstanding, and be able to be recommended by other people. Very, very important. If you want to overcome fear, the fear of failure, you need to be outstanding in what you do. Another thing is courage. I mentioned the perseverance and courage. You need to be courageous, be bold, and you see, somebody who is taking bold steps doesn't mean that he's not afraid, but he's just starving the fear of failure and moving ahead. Now, your ability to overcome fear gives you certain boldness and courage, as I was saying, and it also help you to help others to take that bold step. Another thing is gratitude. Somebody, when you learn to be grateful in life, it's happy to be content. Gratitude help you to see life very beautifully. See opportunity where other people don't see. And one of the assignment I always ask leaders to write every day 5 things for which you are grateful. A grateful person is somebody who is able to live long. Because when you are grateful, as I was saying, you are grateful, you release hormones, positive hormones, and these hormones have a wonderful impact on your brain, on your well-being. So learn to be grateful. More you are grateful, less you are fearful. More you complain, more you always grumble, less you are fearful. They work together. Somebody say fear, grumbling, and complaint. They work together. Gratitude, joy, and hope, they work together. So gratitude is very, very important if you want to learn how to overcome fear of failure and be free from the mental slavery. But now, I'm saying one of the best decisions I have taken is by leaving where I was working. Today, I have the opportunity to train, equip, coach leaders across Africa. I'm grateful I'm making, by God's grace, so much impact in people's life. I am fulfilled, and one of my best friends is the future is bright. But the question I want to ask you now, what is the one thing that you could do right now? You know you need to make a decision. The fear of failure and mental slavery is crippling you. What is one thing that you could do right now that will make the biggest difference in your life? You need to take that decision. You need to confront your fears. And you need to, after you have taken that decision, you are able to overcome that fear. You will see how you will grow. You will see how much opportunity is outside there for you. And you will see the impact your life will have on people. So, to finish, I want to challenge you. That thing you are afraid of, it is not real. Somebody says fear is false evidence which appearing real. It's not real. Step into that water, walk on that water. You will see how fulfilling, rewarding your life will be. So, with this few things I was able to share, I hope you were encouraged. If you are a leader, you know that you need to take a decision. You are afraid. I want to encourage you to convert your fear of failure into success. And in that failure, you will see beauty. In that failure, you will see nuggets of gold, which will serve other people in this generation. Thank you so much. I am done, Mr. Sam.
Wow. I'm still writing. I was writing a lot of notes. Patrick, that was really, 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 really great. And at the beginning, before Patrick came, I was asking you to write how you feel or how you felt. Now, if you did write how you felt at the beginning, how do you feel now? Share with us what you are learning from this amazing, amazing story of failure to success and everything in between. I was telling you at the beginning that the road to success goes through failures. And Patrick has aptly demonstrated that. Patrick has a lot more to share, and he's ready to answer all your questions. All. So, Patrick, thank you. We'll get a short break. And when we come back, Patrick is going to answer all your questions. Please write your questions, write your challenges. What are you facing? What are issues you are facing? Write everything. And after this short break, Patrick will come back. Patrick, thank you so much for this great, 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 great lessons you've shared. We'll come back and recap. So take care of yourself, write your questions, write your learnings, and let's come back and share them.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsie and I'm excited that I just completed a 15-week journey with the CTL Africa team on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell.
From the law of pain, I also learned that every problem introduces a person to himself. Honestly, till you face a problem, you wouldn't know the things that you actually have within you.
The journey for me personally was a wake-up call. Before I joined this journey, I wasn't actually learning at all. I wasn't adding any knowledge to what I knew.
So the law of trade-off is saying that you have to give up to grow up. So things that I think are not going to have maximum impact on my life, I have to trade them off.
I want to grow. I am not stopping now. I am continuing. And as far as I'm concerned, like it says, you cannot give what you don't have. I definitely will have to give what I have learned off to others and then get more so that I can continue giving. I am not going to be a reservoir. I am going to be a river, and therefore I'm going to continue learning to be able to give of my best.
Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results on a consistent basis if they have a system, if they have a plan.
Thank you so much. And let me tell you that the growth journey is on. Two streams are running at the moment because there were so many people who wanted to join. Now, those who were not able to join those streams, I want to inform you that one cohort is ending in 2 weeks. We're taking 15 two groups of 15 people at the same time. One group is landing. That's what we call it in the growth journey. We're landing in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, one group will land, the plane will be empty, and we are onboarding other groups, other people. So if you want to join the growth journey, please put your name in the chat, put your contact in the chat, and we will contact you immediately, because in 2 weeks, one group will finish and there will be room for other people to join. We couldn't take everybody at a time, but we took two groups. One is finishing, and we're going to start the next group a week after that. So please put your name in the chat. This is a program that we take you on 15 weeks of growth. We share all the laws of personal growth, and at the end of that, you would be able to understand how to grow from wherever you are, to be intentional about your growth. And Patrick was talking about people who know they have to move forward, but they cannot move forward. I can tell you, on the growth journey, so many people have been able to move forward. People have moved from their comfort zones, and they have embraced their purpose, as Patrick shared, in life, and they are much, much better and living life more confidently. So we have Fred Asari is here. Thank you so much, Fred, for joining. And we have Kim is here. Thank you, Kim. We have Benedicta Adams is here. Thank you so much. And Abby is here. Asafo Boache, we've seen you. We have Samuel Cancer is here. Samuel, thank you so much. Livingston Zeto is here. Thank you so much. And we have, is it Tofik Win Bisk Salifu? He says, wow. All right. Please share your learnings. Share your learnings. The 5 keys to overcome your fear. identify the root source of the fear and deal with it, work on your character by perseverance and courage, excellence, and gratitude. So work on those. And Cynthia Martins says, very thought-provoking, insightful, and inspirational. Thank you very much, Her Ladyship. Thank you so much for picking that. Indeed, it was very, very inspirational. All right, good. Let me see who else is talking. Okay, from Sparkling Jewis International, he says, awesome submissions. All right, we see Favor J is here. Let me see what you're learning and your questions. I'm trying to look for your questions for Patrick. So Amon Nkansa is here. He says, God bless you. Let's see what you're learning. I want to see your questions. Livingston says, intriguing, and I'm energized by Her Ladyship. Says again, she's energized. All right. So I'm not seeing any question for now, but I have my own questions for Patrick. So I'm going to bring him. And all right, I feel elated and much more confident. That is William Dalfo. God bless you. He says, awesome presentation. All right. Thank you so much, William. And Olympia says, impressive message. Thanks so much, Patrick. Good. William say, Mr. Ayim plays what of the master class? All right. Yes, the leadership journey is also on. So please, if you're interested in the laws of leadership, please also indicate in the chat your name, and we'll contact you. All right. Great presentation. All right. So let me bring back Patrick and let's have a little chat. Okay. All right, Patrick, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Question for now, but I have plenty questions for you. I have plenty questions for you. Now, first, I want to find out. So now, are your parents still alive? Your brothers and your sisters, are they still alive? And what do they think of you? When you meet in the family, what do they say about you?
Well, I would say my dad has passed, but before my dad passed, he came to Ghana, and I remember very well. He just said, I cannot believe that you, Patrick, you have gone back to school, finish university, do an MBA. I remember the word he spoke was, that God will continue to serve him. I'm proud of you.
Wonderful. So the father who was ashamed of you, who had no confidence in you, because of the way you were able to handle your failure, and he says, there is hope for my future. I'm going to push on, listen to your mentors, got the right people to encourage you. Now says he's proud of you. How did you feel about that?
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy. But I think for me, it's just like milestone. There is so much to do more. You can't just, you can't just say that, okay, they are proud of me. There are other people to help in life. There are other people who are going through the same thing. So for me, I am a messenger. Going in life, helping people and coming through, working through the challenges, the failure, and become that excellent people, what they are called to do. For me, this is my message. It's good, but as I was saying, I have found my purpose, like what I'm born to do. Then I'm happy. My parents are proud of me, but it's not just the end. There's so much to do. Yeah, how to help other people, how to groom people, leaders in, especially in Africa, where people can have so much low self-esteem, where somebody can be defined like he's a failure. The person cannot be a failure. The person can fail, but you cannot be a failure. A failure can be an event in your life. But you see, if you check people who have succeeded in life, let's say Thomas Edison, big people, they are like reference now. They have known failure, but what they have done with this failure is what makes them who they are now. So for me, I don't just sit on the praises, but there is so much to do. So move on, helping other people, grow people, make impact. I think this is the journey, yeah, I am on. Yeah.
All right. So, Patrick, two things. I mean, I work with a lot of young people, and I believe you have interaction with a lot of young people, especially in Africa. You and I, as we crisscross Africa and try to make a difference, we're meeting a lot of young people who have lost hope in Africa. Our leaders who are at the top are disappointing us, and the young people are desperate. They finish the university, they have MBAs and things, they can't find a job, and they are asking, why am I here? Why don't I cross to the other side? And they're desperate, and they're giving up on Africa. What will you say to such young people who are listening to us?
I think what I can tell them is there's so much potential in Africa. The reason for which white people are coming to Africa because they are seeing something we are not seeing. So much potential in Africa. Now I have to help these young people to, one thing is to go to school. Another thing is to discover your life purpose after you have gone to school. What are you born to do? What is that things you are passionate about? I give my example. I found that my purpose in life is to use emotional intelligence to equip leaders in Africa. So I think our job is to help these young people to discover their purpose, to know what they are good at, and how to embrace. And another thing also is like entrepreneurship. I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship because my MBA was entrepreneurship. How to help these people to, you have finished university, why are you waiting for the government to employ you? Some people are so good in maybe cooking, in what are you good at? We need to group these people to start something on their own gradually. Instead of focusing on somebody to employ you, start thinking, what can I create to employ somebody? Then you become a solution to many people. So I want to challenge the young people who are finishing universities or while in school, but say there is no potential in Africa. There is so much potential in Africa. And Mr. Ayim, you agree with me, you and I will have a lot of work to do. How could we help these young people to find hope by seeing what God has put in them, what is in them? As soon as you have found that thing, you make it valuable. Somebody somewhere is willing to buy it. You just need to pack it nicely. And you start selling it. Gradually, you make it valuable. And as I was saying, you don't wait people to create a job for you, but you create job and to employ people. I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yes, that's fine. But the other side of it, and you've said it a few times, to discover your purpose.
Yes.
But that's a big challenge for so many people. You, for example, said you read an article and you saw that, yes, this is what I want to do. But how do you discover your purpose? Is there any way, any ideas on how you can discover your purpose? Because, I mean, everybody has a purpose and we say it, but how do you do it? That's the challenge a lot of us have.
Okay. When I teach on purpose, and most of the time the question I ask people is, what do you love naturally? What do you do naturally without being, what comes to you naturally? Let me give you just an example. When you go to hospital, you see two nurses. One who is welcoming a patient with so much empathy, with so much concern. And she's taking care of that patient with all her heart. You see another person who say, Master, join the queue. The tone of her voice, you know that she's doing a job. Another person is doing what he's born to do. Don't you? I would say, how do you discover your purpose? What do you love doing? What are that thing you will do, even though they can't pay you? What do you do? What comes to you naturally? For some people, it can just be writing. Let me give you my wife. She loves writing. It's so natural for her. Another people is maybe singing. Somebody is teaching. But you see, Mr. Samuel, sometimes also what I discover is everybody who has gone to university want to work for somebody. I met somebody, a lady in the bank. Her passion is cooking. But she was in the bank not being fulfilled. After that discussion, leadership training, she realized anytime she cooks, she brings to her colleague, people love her, whatever she cooks. And I asked her, what do you want to do with that? As I'm talking to you now, she is in one of the African countries. Gradually, she will open a restaurant. And she's enjoying what she's doing. She opened a restaurant, she left I'm not saying everybody to live where they are working. But you see, she has pursued her purpose, pursue what she's passionate about. And her passion is feeding her. So what are you passionate about? What comes to you naturally? What do you do without struggling? That thing is an indication. I know some people who work at the bank, but who love teaching. So I said, okay, you can be at the bank, but as a banker, you can be giving courses, package it very well, what you can offer. To finish, I met somebody, the lady, she's a lawyer, but she always dreamed to be a fashion designer. But in her family, they are families of lawyers. When she finished school, her father said, we are families of lawyers, you do law. When she finished the law, she gave the paper to the father. Here is your certificate, the certificate for law. I want to do fashion design. We say, as I'm talking to you now, she went to fashion school. And when you go and sew from her, your bank account will fill it. She's so good at what she does, she's fulfilled. So sometimes somebody will be doing something, but the person is just doing it to be paid. That's okay. But what are the real things you will do, you love doing without being motivated? These are the indication of your purpose. Just pursue it. And as somebody, an author said, your purpose will feed you. So these are some indication some ideas I can give about purpose. And also the purpose can be discovered through coaching. I give an example of Deborah. Deborah, when he saw me, he told me, I think you are good at developing people. And loving emotional intelligence, I realized, wow, this is what I want to do with my life. And I jump into the water. I don't regret.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. Now, our time is running out, but there's a couple of questions from the audience which I cannot miss. Salifu says that give some idea about these days the young people who want to pursue things, but they're struggling with time management and how to work and pursue academic. You were working and pursue academic. So how do they do that? And Amos is also asking that, sometimes people have really big challenges, like you have a debt that you cannot pay, or you have some sickness, that it's not going. So, and it's hindering your progress. So some of these real life issues, how do you deal with them so that you can go ahead? So if you can answer those two questions in the next 2 minutes, then because we want to honor the time of our audience, we promise 8:30, but please go ahead and then you give us your closing remarks.
Okay, I will say for managing the time management, you learn it. What is important for you, you prioritize. As I gave my example, for me, when I came to Ghana, I could not compare myself with Ghanaian because they are English speaking people. I'm French speaking person. So when you see people are playing, you can't play because you have to catch up. So you prioritize what is important for you. You focus. I put the power of focus, being focused on what is important and be willing to pay the price. Very, very important. So you plan your day. What is important for you? You focus on that thing. And also for me, one of the things helped me, when you work with wise people, you become wise. So in my friend, wise people. But when you work with foolish people, somebody you become the chief of the fool. It means work with wise people, work with people who have the same goal like you, have good mentors. It's help you to keep on your toe. So prioritize your time, focus on what is important for you, and get people to mentor you. For the challenge, it's true. You can have challenge in life, but within that these challenges, there are beauty. So don't allow the challenges to challenge you to stop you. But what will you do with your challenge? If it's a sickness or disease, whatever, see what will you do within what is important for you. But what is critical, never give up. Keep going, keep growing, keep trusting God. There is hope for your future. Just remember that there is hope for your future. Give you a picture, a beautiful picture that this is not the end, and the end is glorious. So it's help you to move in life. It's help you when you fall, you get up, you continue. So my closing remark is get to know what you are born to do. Find that thing, pursue it. There is hope for your future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Discover your purpose, pursue it, and remember there is hope for your future. Patrick, thank you so very much. It's been very, as somebody summarized it, I think it's his leadership is inspirational, it's powerful, it's energetic, and your story is beautiful. A French person today sitting on an English platform, sharing his story, teaching us and encouraging us. I mean, what else do you want? Where are you in your life? What are the things that are challenging you? What are the things that are blocking you? What are you struggling about in your past? I mean, you couldn't go so low to take 7 years to do a course that others are doing in 2-3 years. And yet, Patrick is sitting here as an example for all of us. Keep the focus, overcome your fears, and keep hope alive. May God bless all of you who joined the platform today. We thank you. We appreciate you. Until next week, when we come again with another speaker to share great life stories to encourage us, we say have a very, very good night. And Patrick says it, please don't forget your God. The God factor is absolutely important. That is why I encourage you that tomorrow on Sunday, do not miss it. Go to church and thank God for your life. Good night. God bless you. And Patrick, thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen. Thank
Au
you.
revoir. Bonne
Au revoir.
nuit. Dors bien.
Yes.
Merci beaucoup. Adone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We spend a lot of time developing our professions, but we don't spend time developing ourselves. Look, as a leader, as a professional, you have to grow. You have to grow yourself. And to be able to grow yourself, you need to know yourself. A lot of us are not achieving the maximum we can achieve because we have not invested in our personal growth. So we are bringing you this special studies based on John C. Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we're going to just spend time with you and help you go through the principles that you need to be able to grow your person, to become a better person. Because if you become a better person, you become a better leader, you become a better father, you become a better professional. Do not miss this opportunity, as the masterclass is going to be very practical and discussional. It is going to be a limited number of people. So please register now to be part of the program.